Perfection tonight.
That is a bold, bold statement, but it's true.
Now pay attention to Jaden Gardner on the block. The Pirates love to go through him on most possessions. He's going to get a lot of touches. You're going to have a steady diet of Gardner tonight.
Gardner averaging almost a double-double. Meanwhile, the SMU starting five, and you see Emmanuel Bandamel, number 5. He had the game winner at Dayton.
Yeah, his best game of the season with 19 points, and yeah, he was really feeling it. And that's a boon for this basketball team, having him coming off the bench, taking up Tyson Jolly's spot.
Ferron Hunt long on the three-pointer, and Suggs goes after it but throws it away. Kendrick Davis, no good, but there's Hunt, and his leaping ability helps him put it in.
And that's what you cannot allow. You can't allow the Mustangs second chance scoring opportunities. They are one of the best in the country, getting 39% of all offensive rebounding percentages. That's top 13 in the country.
ECU rotates for an open three by Tremont Robinson-White. And here comes SMU, led by Kendrick Davis, leading the American Conference in points, in assists, and in steals. What a start to the season.
Yeah, you got to get back in defensive transition against the Mustangs. They love to get it up and go and get that first easy, quick bucket.
Emmanuel Bandamel, the hero against Dayton last week.
Nice pass.
Feeds it down to Chagua, who cannot. Sewell, excellence in service since 1911. Ball is on the ground again, still trying to get after the basketball. Brandon.
The peanut butter and jelly sandwiches looked the most tasty of any that I'd ever seen in my life.
Did you get to eat any of the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
They offered, but you know, I wasn't on that PB&J diet at the time, so I just, you know, looked jealously.
As Jaden Gardner steps into a jumper. Gardner, preseason first team all-conference, right now averaging 20 points a game. Nice lob inside, but it's blocked down low. Isaiah Jacey is denied.
Give Jaden Gardner some help with Isaiah Jacey on the block.
Brandon Suggs with the block. Tell you, Suggs has been just about everywhere on both ends of the floor. Factor in this one. Chagua passes up on the three and gives it down to Jacey. Isolated position. Jacey going to the right-handed hook.
Between Jacey and DeBow, you just got some big bodies on the block. Looking forward to watch them battle throughout the night.
Yeah, number 21, Lugie Debo, is listed at 7 feet tall, 244. Big guy on the inside. Drive by Tristan Newton. Had an outstanding freshman season last year. Leaves it for DeBow. Here's what SMU does best, and ECU knows it. They've got to get back defensively all night.
One thing you have to do against SMU is load to the ball in transition, not allow them to get out. Gets a little bit out of control, had nowhere to go on that possession, tried to make something happen, but that's a possession where you would rather him just pull it out and try to set something up.
Tremont Robinson-White fires it out
because he has a plethora of moves offensively that he can draw upon when he needs it.
Had an incredible sophomore season where he led the conference in scoring, 19.7 points a game, second team all conference. Now, ECU didn't have the greatest of seasons. Otherwise, you know, maybe he's the player of the year.
They get stuff off of their offense.
Third turnover early on SMU. They average about 15 turnovers a game. They force opponents into more than 18 a contest. Jaden Gardner against Chagua, off to Suggs for the fadeaway. Ferron Hunt has led this team in rebounding SMU for the last 3 years, and he sat out last year, not able to get a transfer waiver. McNeil really good on defense and a good driver on offense, just not able to convert. There you go. That's what you normally see from McNeil, the great on-the-ball defense. Newton steps into a three. What a start for East Carolina, up by 7.
You got to remember, the Mustangs have been on break basically for 10 days. Finish up finals today, so they haven't had live competition in a minute, and it's 0.8 threes made per game, #1 in the American, but I think they've forgotten how they got those 8.8 per game, and that's sharing the basketball, getting it through their offense, and getting rhythm shots instead of these one-on-one hero ball shots that they've gotten early on in this game.
It's a great point because on the other end, ECU has 3 assists on 4 made baskets. And Emmanuel Bandamel misses on yet another 3. Tristan Newton banging his way into Davis. J.J. Miles in now for East Carolina. Out to Jaden Gardner.
Right now, the East Carolina is playing 5 out, 0 in, trying to take advantage of their ability to take the Mustangs off the dribble and create shots.
Great start for East Carolina, up 11-2. And like you mentioned, SMU coming off of finals week, and that concerned Tim Jankovic coming into this game. He said it's just, not something you normally have to do, play a conference game after
something out of their offense. You're seeing the basketball just go side to side. You're not making the defense of the Pirates work at all, stagnant, and you're limiting your ability to get second chance scoring opportunities.
Bandamel with the on-the-ball defense on Tristan Newton. Tyree Jackson in the game for the first time, wearing number 10. Jackson gets it back from Newton. His 3-pointers off the mark. SMU career is number 10, Yor-Ane, the Oklahoma State transfer, and he just became eligible today. The NCAA Division I Council voted to grant a blanket waiver to all D1 transfers. They can all play immediately, Stephen, especially in a pandemic. That's a load off a lot of kids' shoulders.
Yeah, it is, and this is one of the instances when the NCAA did the right thing and did the sensible, common sense thing, which is not something that you can always say with the NCAA.
There's Yor-Ane. He's a great shot blocker on one end, 6'10" and 235 pounds. See how he works on the offensive side. As Hunt tries another 3, and it comes up empty. But Tumba Baruti is in for the first time out of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Talking to the coaching staff about Yor-Ane, and they really think that once he gets going, he'll probably eat up some of the time of Isaiah Jacey, but he gives them the ability to stretch the floor, block the seeing SMU in a full-court press, and teams don't always do this to get a steal. They do it a lot of times to shorten the shot clock of the opposition. You're seeing right now it's 20 seconds, and the Pirates are only now getting into their offensive set.
Farrakhan wearing the number 3, the highest-rated prospect to sign with Joe Dooley so far at ECU. 3-pointers off the mark, but an offensive rebound by Debo. And ECU still going. Teardrop doesn't fall, and SMU tries to cut into the lead.
You're seeing the presence of Yor-Ane on that last possession. The teardrop of Farrakhan had to go much higher with the contest of Yor-Ane.
SMU just 1 of 6 from outside. Beautiful move by JJ. SMU has needed a spark off their pine.
Yeah, you only had 5 minutes against Dayton, and I think as the season progressed, particularly in conference season, you're probably not going to see as much time for Charles Davis IV. Coaches generally shorten their bench when you get into the conference, but he is a guy that has earned some minutes with his play pre-conference.
That's something that Darius McNeil can do. He led Cal in 3-pointers as a freshman and a sophomore. Big 3 for Darius McNeil. You like that?
I'd rock him.
Would you color coordinate with a nice outfit as well? Would you wear those with a nice suit? Or those purely for the court?
I don't know. It's a game time decision for me.
Jaden Gardner comes up short. And here comes SMU down by a 3-pointer. A slow offensive start today. Trying to get Yor-Ane a touch on the inside. The Oklahoma State transfer. He's called for.
Not playing for a while, but I do believe once he becomes comfortable and gets acclimated to the offensive defensive schemes of the Mustangs, he's going to be an added bonus to an already powerfully dominant offensive and defensive team.
That one goes right off of Debo, and here comes SMU with a full head of steam. Davis sizing up Suggs, shooting the 3 and tying it up.
Kendrick Davis against Dayton was aggressive early, where maybe he could have facilitated to his teammates more, but you're just seeing a guy that is so confident and comfortably offensive, and the Mustangs feed off of that, sizing up the defender and just knocking it down. There's no defense for a player who feels that kind of confidence and can knock down shots the way Kendrick Davis can.
Coming right down the lane for the floater, J.J. Miles, an American Honor Roll weekly recipient. He averaged 19 points a game last week. Jaguar immediately doubled. Great passer. Charles Smith, the fourth, pulls up.
And you're seeing what the Pirates are going to do defensively against Ethan Shagwa. Bring the double team from the top side, try to prevent him from making that cross-court pass. But Shagwa is arguably the best passer for the Mustangs. It's going to be interesting to see how that his skill set really just leads him to so many different directions.
Just another weapon on this SMU team as Newton pulls up. Bandamel with the rebound, but then they chose to not call the timeout.
Well, what impressed me about that game is that was the first game that the Mustangs hadn't scored over 90 points, and it showed me that they can score in an up-tempo game and they can score in a defensive slugfest. And that's going to bode well in American Conference play because they're not always going to be able to have that high-octane offense that they've shown in this pre-conference.
And winning on the road as well. I mean, Jankovic has been desperate to improve his team's non-conference schedule and finally got a big game on the road and coming up with a win. What do you think that does for the confidence of the team moving forward?
Well, it's huge because that's a signature type pre-conference win that all programs want to have, and getting that in that sort of a game, because Dayton is an exceptional team with a great history collegiately as a mid-major, and that type of a victory is something that you're going to draw upon throughout the season.
Charles Coleman stands tall, gets it back. Players going at one another there. Bandamel for SMU. Suggs has been all over the floor, and you see a season average.
I've talked about how this year he has more of an understanding of what the coach wants for him. He's not a guy that's just going to jump off the page with his stats, but he's going to touch each different category with points, rebounds, assists, steals, some blocks. Type of guy that a coach loves to have on the court.
Had a big game at Moody last year with 18 points. It was a big loss. Oh, a nice find by Shagwa. McNeil on 3 team fouls aside. East Carolina opened up a big early lead. SMU came back with an 11-2 run to take an advantage themselves.
SMU with the smaller lineup out there with Shagwa playing the 5.
Fun early start from SMU. It's great to have you with us on the first conference week of the year, starting early this year.
And this is when they like to bring Shagwa out, when they have a 7-foot pop. And it makes the defense make a decision because you have a shooter in Shagwa, and so the big cannot help on Kendrick Davis, who, as we've seen throughout this season, can turn the corner against anyone.
That's just an excellent point. The game within the game from Stephen Howard. 3-pointer for the lead, off the mark by Tyree Jackson. Kendrick Davis always wants to throw it into the next gear. Will Douglas, another good bench guard, finds McNeil. Douglas, nice close game. There you see SMU has hit 4 of their 10 threes. East Carolina only 1 of 5. McNeil makes a drive, dumps it to Shagwa, and foul.
Draws the defense to him and kicks it to Shagwa. And again, just
nice start for him. Shagwa rolls out that first free throw, 81% on the year. A good 7 rebounds a game. His number's way up from his junior year so far. SMU's numbers way up from early on in this game when they fell behind 11-2. That's a distant memory with SMU leading by 3.
SMU doing a smothering defense on Brandon, or Jaden Gardner rather. He normally gets 35% of the shots. That's top 33 in the country. The Pirates doing a good job of spreading the wealth around as far as offensive opportunities goes.
And J.J. Miles with a 2-pointer there to give him 4. Last year he was more of a 3-point shooter. More than 2/3 of his shots came from 3. Way off for William Douglas.
Well, this year he's feeling very comfortable from 3 as well. About 50% of his shots are threes, 9 for 16 thus far this year.
And he's 9 for 10 in his last 2 games. But that's somebody different. That's Batumba Baruti hitting his 7th three of the year to give East Carolina the lead.
McNeil has a mismatch out on the wing.
But Davis wants it. And McNeil's there on the backside.
You have to put a body on someone from the Mustangs. A lot of times they will send 4 players to the glass, which will give you an opportunity to get out in transition if you get the defensive rebound.
Jaden Gardner. Jaguar giving him the left hand, but he hits the fadeaway anyway.
Jaden Gardner is just so crafty offensively, and he's added that extended 10-foot jumper this year, but normally an angle guy that loves to seal down on the block, but when he gets that jumper going, makes it difficult for anyone to guard him.
McNeil open.
And get into a rhythm shooter, he's gonna knock those down all game long.
By far his best outing of the season, already his 3rd three, and McNeil leads all scorers with 11. Swinging SMU back in front as Gardner goes to work.
Good closeout.
And Newton, he says, I got the foul here. He does have to sit down with those 2 fouls. That's Newton and Suggs, both with a couple fouls apiece. Big offensive performance from Davis so far. Finds Jaguar. He's got great range, but misses on this one.
And that's that play where it makes you make a decision that Roland replaced with JC and then leaving Jaguar open all alone on the 3-point line. I'd like to see the Pirates get Jaden Gardner on the block a little bit more. He's been operating a lot from the free throw line extended, which prevents you from double teaming him, but he is so good down on the block with angles.
Wasn't able to hit that shot from short. Tulsa Union said he went back to the basics for his senior year.
Well, and this is the type of year I've been expecting from him since his freshman year. Last year was a down year with 7 points, 3.8 rebounds, but this year 14.5 points per game, top 10 in the American. Career high 7 rebounds last game, and I feel like Jaguar could be and should be a double-double guy.
That one's intercepted by J.J. Miles. East Carolina, no numbers though.
Similar styles as far as the amount of defensive turnovers that they create throughout the game, but the Mustangs, one of the more offensively potent teams in the country, have not gotten loose yet.
JC not able to convert on the alley-oop. Still, SMU averaging 89 points a game coming in, leading the American.
I think on that last possession, JC did not realize how open he was and was surprised there was no contact and just missed an easy shot.
J.J. Miles a little off balance. Kendrick Davis turns to run. His team up by 1. Neither team has scored in more than 2 minutes. Ron Hunt has it tipped away. Robinson White steps inside, block from.
But you can't hang your head on a mistake. You have to make something positive after that, and Ron Hunt did a good job of attempting to do that.
Slow start for Hunt with 2 points here in the first half. Not a slow start for Kendrick Davis. Now Jaguar on the bounce, leans in, follows his own miss, does it again.
Second chance scoring opportunities and being aggressive because he's that stretch four that can stretch the defense and knock down the 3 and the best.
Such a versatile player. It seems like SMU, as they move through the season here, now adding Yorane to some guys that are really humming, that SMU can become even more dynamic if that's possible. Miles shovels it off to Jaden Gardner. Nice rotation. J.J. Miles for 3, and Miles has been red hot from beyond the arc.
And that was a concern from the coaching staff of the Mustangs, not allowing J.J. Miles to continue that hot streak. He was a JUCO guy last year in his hands, and they kicked it to J.J. Miles on the corner to knock down that 3.
He's hit 10 of his last 11. I mean, just unconscious. Jaguar passes up on the 3 to take it into Gardner, and Jaden Gardner. Here's Ethan Jaguar, who has 5 rebounds.
Scoring last year, he's second in scoring this year. Guys like that do not want to foul because they know if they get enough to be on the bench. So they're going to play the type of kind of laissez-faire defense and make sure that they don't get in contact defensively.
East Carolina trying to build on a 1-point lead here late in the first half. Vermont Robinson White out of Little Rock. Tyree Jackson thought about it, drives in.
Complimentary, the closeout into the finish. Defense does not end until you get a defensive rebound or a stop.
That is Stephen Howard. I'm John Little here in Dallas. SMU looking to retake the lead.
Nice swing, but Charles Smith either needs to take a shot or kick it. Don't let the ball stick in your hand.
McNeil to Davis. Shagwa wide open. East Carolina tries to push the pace. Shovel inside to Miles James, who's turned away.
A lot of defensive liabilities by the Pirates. Very fortunate they did not give up a three on that possession.
Lukey Debo finds Jaden Gardner. Little off balance, can't make it go.
Said in his coaching conference, the most potent team in his estimation offensively in the American Conference.
East Carolina hasn't been half bad themselves. Third in the conference,
oh,
76.
No.
There comes your Ane for his first big, emphatic block of his SMU career.
And that's when you see an adept defensive player, when they don't block it.
Oh! Tim Jankovic said it before the season, but assists and steals this year. Three-point play puts SMU up, but East Carolina has a chance to answer here at the end of the half. Electric freshman Noah Farrakhan with the ball in his hands.
Too much ball dribbling.
Farrakhan. Kendrick Davis under control as he crosses midcourt. Davis lofts it. Did he get it off in time?
In the first half is one of the reasons why they're only down 2.
ECU in the black, or the purple fading to the black. And SMU in those icy whites as Davis starts with the basketball in the second half.
Only thing better than icy white is Diddy white.
You're going to have to educate me. And after some confusion, we're ready to go with Farhan Hunt. Passing in.
Watch the back screen. SMU loves running a back screen off of out-of-bounds possessions.
Vandemel yet to get going in this one. Picked up 2 early fouls. Lofts a deep 2 off the mark. And a good defensive possession to start the second half for the Pirates. East Carolina with the top returning scoring duo in the American. When you factor in Jaden Gardner and Tristan Newton, they averaged 30 points a game between them last year. Here's Vandemel. Oh, a nice little move, but leaves it off the glass. Jaden Gardner, second in the conference in scoring and rebounding, gets it back against Shagwa. Tries to dump it underneath to
Davis. Try to do something off some screening action. Get a little more continuity in the Mustangs offense.
Davis, who had the big first half, but had that three-pointer wiped off in the first half. Hit it just after the buzzer. Leaves it for Shagwa, and his three-pointer's just off.
And that's that action that the Mustangs run. It's so difficult to guard because you can't help off Kendrick Davis, and if you don't, he'll go to the rim, and if you do, Shagwa will be open for the 3 as he was on that possession.
Looking for Newton against Vandemel. Gardner, feet on the line, way off. Here comes Davis, under control, a dozen in this one. Season high 33.
Got a mismatch on the block.
Nice throw through by Shagwa, but Hunt couldn't handle the high pass. Gardner trying the spin, it's poked out. Davis defending about 45 feet from the basket there. SMU just not making it easy. Suggs trying to be aggressive and end a scoreless drought when you span the end season for East Carolina. Pirates at 5-0. They could be poised to explode in this conference. They've been a resilient team this season. 4 times they faced deficits of 9 or more and came back to win every single time. So you can't get this team down either. Oh, Davis, nifty dribbling in short space. Down to JC for the finish.
Davis is so good with the dribble, always looking to create and facilitate a shot for his teammates.
That gets poked away. Here comes Shagwa on the open floor. Lobs it. Hunt! Oh, rejected by the back of the... I literally cannot imagine. It looked like there was some contact from behind by Tremont Robinson-White, which Hunt was telling the official. I got pushed from behind there.
No blood, no foul.
Evidently not, especially when you get to a conference game, right?
And that's what he's been the last 2 games. At Dayton and here tonight against East Carolina, you're going to have a very potent Mustangs offense.
Shagwa with a beautiful drive. 14 points against Dayton, as you mentioned, had 20 the previous game against Houston Baptist, plus 9 rebounds and 3 assists. He's playing some of the best basketball of his career early here in the season. Here's Gardner against Shagwa. The quick spin and a finish with the right.
Yeah, against Gardner, you have to get on him at the catch. You can't allow him to get into his rhythm with the dribble and get closer to the back.
What about Ferran Hunt? Knocks one down for the first time in a while off a broken play. 3-pointer in response, twists out for Newton, and here comes Davis.
And I don't like that offensive possession for the Pirates. Newton just go to the rim run and presented him his body and got an easy bucket for the Mustangs.
So nifty by the junior Kendrick Davis. The play of the game brought to you by Ozona Grill and Bar, who has the best patio in town. Enjoy West Texas favorites while yelling at the TVs. Ozona Grill and Bar, find your comfort zone. Pirate stars Newton and Gardner, number 2 and number 1 out. SMU scored the last 5 to take a 7-point lead. That's their largest of the game. Now trying to come up with another defensive stop with 7 on the shot clock. J.J. Miles has been good in this one. Misses out on the shot, but
fit. And the court awareness of Isaiah JC, as well as his ability to protect that baseline in the rim, been really good in this game.
East Carolina coming in at 5-0. Most recent win over North Florida. Only 7 to shoot for Newton, gives it back to Gardner.
Our 4 for 9, that was a turnover in this game, and Shagwa has just done a good job of bodying up Gardner, getting physical with him, and just using his length to affect him in shots.
Against the zone, JC gets a deep touch, misfires, and what work inside by Isaiah JC, never say die. Ball back for his team by taking the charge. SMU up by 9, that's their largest advantage.
You're seeing the Pirates getting a little 2-3 zone, trying to...
Earlier on today, if you missed that, any Division I transfer is immediately eligible in any sport. It's special pandemic rule. Of course, eventually, a lot of people believe the NCAA is going to make the ruling where there's kind of one free transfer as Gardner misfires on the leaner.
One of the reasons that makes them so offensively potent.
That little chat about the shot clock. It should have been at 22. Back to the steady hands of Kendrick Davis, who had a 13 assist, no turnover. Kendrick Davis up to 15 points now in this one. SMU leading by double figures for the first time as Newton misses on the shot. Here comes Davis once more. Nearly slips down, but finds Shagwa. And a long rebound out to Suggs. Suggs against Shagwa. Suggs, no foul call, has it back, blocked by an A. McNeil relocates. Can't devastating shot blocker in his time at OSU. Played 2 years and averaged 2.3 blocks per game. That is not easy to do. East Carolina trying to figure out a way to cut into this lead. And that's not going to do it. The deep three.
The dish. But those are the type of plays that are going to get East Carolina back into this game, not just hoisting up threes.
Well, ECU is only one of their last 9 from the field right now. Here,
who has his own quickness and ability about him, and just really frustrating Jaden Gardner in this basket.
And again, this is one of those spots where SMU wants to get their best player, their point guard, Kendrick Davis, a little bit of rest, and they got to figure out who their point guard is when he is not on the floor. Heaven forbid if Kendrick Davis goes down, what do they do?
Well, I don't think that's really a concern for Coach Jankovic, because you have Darius McNeil, who ran the point for Cal for 2 years. Emmanuel Bandamel has done an exceptional job both off the bench and as a starter. It's just having that continuity. And
it's led to these poor shooting numbers when you look at
Jaden Gardner in particular, and I think off 10 days having it being finals week. But one thing that has been exceptional with the Mustangs is the fact that they've defended without fouling. And the East Carolina has only shot 4 free throws, and before this game, East Carolina, their free throw rate was only 25%, which was pretty poor for the Mustangs, and that's one thing that you get with Urinay and Ferron Hunt on the court, is the ability to gamble a little bit on defense, knowing that you have that rim protector in the paint.
Charles Smith IV takes.
One thing that East Carolina has done pretty well is keeping SMU out of fast break. Only 5 fast break points prior to that possession. Athleticism and length.
Hits the shot. SMU is on a 21-5.
East Carolina trying to put on some full court pressure. Looks like it's more escort pressure. They're going to need to do something defensively. You can't continue to trade baskets with the Mustangs. You need to make defensive stops. That's always been a signature of Coach Jankovic's offense, is the weak side basket cut. You can't fall asleep as a defender, and if you do, they're going to cut behind you to get an easy look like Charles Smith just have raved about.
Your Ane from Overland Park, Kansas, in the Kansas City area, with 3 blocks already in this one. I mean, just a game changer. An electric player. Although, look at the blow-by Tristan Newton, the hesitation. SMU still up by a dozen and still able to rest their best player. Davis has been on the bench for a good 5 minutes now. Ethan Chagua rejoins, and a finish.
Seeing a nice touch around the rim. And he goes over his left shoulder, throws it up with his right hand. That's a shot that's going to be difficult for any defender to block.
Robinson hits the 3. East Carolina has not been great from outside, but that was a much-needed outside shot. Charles Smith IV answers, though.
Charles Smith IV shooting over 54% from distance this year, and it's going to be difficult for him to earn minutes, but if he continues to play.
Conference win to open up the conference season, 20 games this year.
SMU really has a height advantage out on the court right now. Look for them to try to go inside and really take advantage of that height disparity.
Chagua on the high post to Bandamel, poked away for a moment.
Too much dribbling by Bandamel. Urinay can shoot it from the 3. I don't know if you're going to get it with him off the dribble, but he does have the ability to knock down threes.
Wild look by Bandamel, and Newton keeps it alive. East Carolina tries to break out, down by 11. Capable scoring team, third, and it goes inside for Jaden Gardner against the big shot block.
And you saw how he jumped into the body of Urinay. And that's how you get shot blockers and create that contact.
An unreal pass by Ethan Chagua, firing it out to Bandamel for his first made field goal, and now McNeil takes it away. Smith open again. Jaguar keeps it alive, but it's pulled away by Baruti.
And I don't mind that three-pointer in transition. It was when they went on that tear and won the American. So
showing out tonight, Jaden Gardner, normally a factor. He is tonight as well with his 13 points. He's going to stay there after rolling out the free throw. SMU hangs on to this double-digit lead. They've led by as many as 14 after a tight first half. Darius McNeil steps back deep two, you bet.
Darius McNeil is a player that once he gets fully comfortable and acclimated to this offense, the things that he adds to it mid-range.
Last year with his 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. That wasn't a 20-point loss. His front end doesn't go. Important points left on the board for the Pirates when they're down by 13 as time starts to dwindle here in Dallas. For SMU, their last game for 14 days. They don't want to leave the court with a bad taste in their mouth. Jaguar, what a find to Smith. I think Ethan Jaguar deserved better there.
To the ball, always putting a body on box outs.
Again, that's been an underrated part of the start to the season for SMU. And maybe for a game like this, and also the Dayton game, it just really focused on. Oh, a nice finish inside. Isaiah Jaycee using his strength.
Do your work early. Jaycee had a mismatch, nice post up, big, forcing them to give him the rock, and once he got it, made the easy basket.
Evened his career high with 6. That one off the mark. McNeil pulls it away as SMU starts to pull away here at Moody Coliseum. Kendrick Davis, the leading scorer, the leading assist man, the leading steals man in the conference.
Also, Darius McNeil, best on-ball defender on the team. And so now you have a defensive component in addition to a very offensively adept basketball team. And the Mustangs are going to be a problem this year in the American Conference.
How do you think that he's maybe fulfilling his potential in his senior season?
Well, Isaiah Jaycee is not a guy that you're expecting to just stuff the stats. I mean, he's a space eater who can score if he's put in a position to score. But I feel like he's fulfilling the role that they want him to. A guy that if you give it to him on the block, he can score. But he's going
to now in the second half as Jaycee and the SMU defense getting it done and closing in on a 5-0 start to the season. For East Carolina, I mean, tip the cap, a 5-0 start to the year, their best start in 8 years. It wasn't an accident. Davis leaves it for McNeil and can't get the friendly roll. Pirates picked 9th in the American Conference this year. SMU picked 3rd. Another pop-out 3 by Baruti. For Baruti, that is 9 points in the game. He's knocked down 3 triples. Joe Dooley without any timeouts to try to stop this one. It's all up to his team at this point to try to claw back in, and they got to do it without their best player as well, Jaden Gardner, who took that hard flights in Big D. SMU leads East Carolina 63-49 in an opener of the American Conference season from Dallas. Great to have you back with us. It's under 4 to play. SMU by 14. The hole for the flush.
Yeah, the difficulties for East Carolina is that 33% of their possessions go through Jaden Gardner. That's top 26 in the country. So getting Jaden Gardner touches is just part of the DNA seconds to generate offense like they did in that last possession.
Davis generates a alley-oop to Ferron Hunt as SMU continues to pour it on. Suggs off the curl. Can't hit, and Hunt's really starting to feel under control, grabbing that board. It's double figures for Ferron Hunt, 11 points, 9 rebounds, just shy of a double-double for the SMU leading rebounder. Davis working off that JC screen. Love the celebration grimace by Emmanuel Bandamel, who has his second three of the day. By the way, 5 assists once more for Kendrick Davis. Seems like that's just his feet. Keep East Carolina in it with 2:16 to play. But a workmanlike effort by SMU tonight. Team that's really done a great job on the defensive end, and on the offensive side played much better ball in the second half. Davis gets the ISO. Ducks the shoulder, fading away, showing the moves. And Barumbi comes out with a strong rebound, knocking down JC. That's not easy to do. Tristan Newton is the man with Gardner on the bench. Newton slashing over JC. Doesn't go, and Ferron Hunt tries to break out with Kendrick Davis. ECU is back with under 2 to play.
Good job by Kendrick Davis pulling it out. Didn't force the issue on that offensive transition, showing some maturity.
These teams meet again on... It seems like he's got about 17 different speeds, Stephen.
Yeah, he's definitely a change of pace, great space with the dribble, and then attack where he finds the seam is just, it's unparalleled in the American Conference. And for me, he's arguably one of the best point guards in the country, but definitely right now playing the best of any point guard in the American Conference.
Good crowd on hand for a pandemic, and ECU will start out 0-1 in conference action. Wasn't without a really good first half fight by the Pirates, who came in at 5-0, their best start in the last 8 years. Pirates definitely a team on the rise. Deep three by Newton off the mark. And SMU will be able to walk this one out with a big lead. SMU goes to 5-0.